Growing up in the 80s, well, for me, you grew up in the 80s too, right? 80s, 90s?
Pre-teen to my 90s. 90s is where
90s.
I was formed. Yeah.
Okay, so take this and apply it to you. But for me, it's growing up in the 80s was basically a death sentence, brother. But fun, a death sentence, but fun. No helmets, no supervision, just vibes and sharp objects. And we weren't brave. We weren't brave. We were actually pretty stupid. So this episode is dumb, wild, and still here. Or should it be dumb, young, and almost gone? I don't know. Both of them apply. But
hey, take it for whichever one you want. Yeah.
Yeah. Either the glass is half full or half empty. Half empty. The dumb things we've done as kids that should have landed us in jail or dead. And again, this goes out like how we're trying to do now to everybody watching. If you got a dumbass story that beats ours, put it in the comments, man. I love reading that. So join in. We're trying to make this a community. So anything you've done as a stupid kid and survived, please let us know, because this is the gentleman's hour. So let's jump into it. Just two gentlemen tackling the toughest subjects, one topic at a time. And like I said, this is about dumb stuff we did growing up. So my memory is pretty bad. I know there's some better stories, but I'm gonna give it a shot. So I'm gonna lean on you to carry. Hopefully you did some dumb ass stuff.
Hopefully I got a big back so I can carry.
There you go. All right. Question number 1. Are you ready?
Yeah, go for it.
What was there a moment you genuinely thought, like as it was happening, like, oh damn, this is it. This is where I check out. This is where I die.
At the moment, I don't think I thought that, but right after, I mean, there was a time we got robbed, bro, in Silmar by a bunch of guys from South Ed. Pulled out some guns on us and took my homeboy's chain. Robbed us for like a 7-pack of beer that we had. We were drinking at a house party. Looking back, I remember we laugh about it now, and I remember that night we drove home kind of defeated and kind of like, damn man, we straight got punked.
Yeah,
but I mean, they were.
How come you didn't do anything?
Because they were strapped, dude. There was like 10 of them, and there was only like 5 of us or 4 of us. And I mean, now that you look back, even that night, I think we were sitting there like at one of my homies' house and bought him some more beer, and we're like, dude, like, what was wrong with us? Like, they told us not to go into that party. It was in Silmar. We don't, we're born and raised in Pacoima. We don't mess with Silmar. We don't mess with Sanfed, but we went anyways, and we were in there. We walked in there, and it was like, man, I didn't know there was a Giants, San Francisco Giants fan club in Silmar. They're just SF hats everywhere, dude. And, we were all 4 bald guys, and we were young, and yeah, man, we walked out. They followed us. They were like, we're walking to the car, and we're like, dude, these guys are following us like a little crowd. And I'm like, hey, dude, we gotta stop it, or they're gonna take our car. They're gonna take your car. And we turned around, and they're like, hey, where you guys going? Where are you guys from? And we're like, we don't bang. Like, oh, this is Varios. I think they were like the McClay boys or something. And they pulled a gun out on us, and he goes, hey, give me your chain. To my homeboy, took his chain. One of them was like, give me your beer. And he's like, oh, my homeboy was like, nah, this is our beer. And he goes, give me your beer, right? And flashed his gun, and we're like, oh, okay, cool. Took whatever was left of that 12-pack, and he grabbed the beer out of my homeboy's hand and drank it in front of
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, bro. And we're just standing there like, damn, dude, like, what do we do? Like, and then I honestly thought, like, okay, if we say something wrong, right, we're done. Yeah, if we try to fight back, we're done.
Exactly. Why they can even play. So I know in high school we had a gang load of those where, we knew, oh, this is a party on the east side. We shouldn't go. But young and dumb and chasing, I'm not going to say the P word, chasing tail. You don't give it to go anywhere.
Yeah.
I just remember a lot of like that, and nothing ever went down, but nobody ever pulled guns on us. But like, you know, people hit us up and, you know, da da da, what do you guys do? You shouldn't be over here, all that kind of. But nothing really escalated more than just like talking or, you know, back and forth and us like that. But I did get a gun pulled on me. But this is crazy. Check this out. And this is, I was kind of already getting a little bit older. It's probably like 18, 19. We were going to go down, me, my cousin, my sister. So that must have been like 20. Maybe she was 18. And maybe like two of my buddies, we were going to drive down to Hollywood to go to a 18 and over club. It wasn't Florentine Gardens. What was the other one?
The Arena.
No, the Arena too. It wasn't Arena. It was something with an M, but I can't remember it. But it was an 18 and over club in Hollywood. So I was already drinking going down. My cousin was driving and he was like, oh, I got to go get gas. So we pulled into the mall and I guess he like sped through one of the stops. I don't know. We pull up to get gas and like this 2 cars come flying, security guards, right? Come flying like as if it's like an ice raid, bro. Jump out. Hey, what the? And we're like, what the heck? They have their guns out and the whole thing was because we were speeding through the parking lot. So then we're like, okay, well, why don't, okay, like what, okay, what, I don't even, is that a ticket or what? Like, but then these fools somehow, maybe we were kind of talking shit probably, but they pulled the gun out. The one dude pulled the gun out, the security guard, and had it pointed at me. I think I was just standing there. I put my hand, like, just kind of like on my side, not like crazy, just kind of like what the hell are you doing? You don't see that I have a gun? You don't put your hand. And I was like, I'm like, anyways. So that was the one time they.
And these are security guards?
They were security guards. I thought they were cops at first, but they ended up being security. So we're standing around. Yeah, we're standing around like, okay, what's gonna happen? Like, there's nothing happening here.
Yeah, what next?
We're just like, all right, bro. Like, what are you guys gonna give us a ticket or what? Because we got to go. And they were just like, get out of here, man. Get out of here. You guys can't be driving. Like, what the hell? We left. I remember it was just like, is that normal? They pulled for speeding in a parking lot. But I think that's the only time I've ever had a gun pulled on me, like personally. I've seen like people shooting and shit, like, you know, but I've never had to actually like pull a point at me. Some like little 19-year-old kid, like, what the, you're gonna shoot me over what? I don't even know what I did. But that kind of reminded me of that. But anyway, okay. So my moment where I thought I was gonna die, we were probably like 12, 13, maybe a little older, like 13, 14. It was either Ensenada or Rosarito. We used to go for like the summer to go out there for like a week or two and just stay out there, hotel or camp on the beach, whatever. And I think Davey was with us. I remember Davey, and we all had boogie boards. I remember I had this badass, nice red boogie board. Oh, I used to love that thing. Anyways, it was like 4 of us cousins that all like went out there. We were going out, and I don't know if it was Katrina or what, because I've never seen waves like this in Ensenada. There's no wave. It's like a lake, bro. But these waves were huge. Anyway, so we're like getting out there, kind of far out there. You know, as the wave starts, you try to like go up and over.
Yeah.
So we all tried that, and we're all like, okay, let's just go up and over. About halfway through, we're like, well, at least me. I can't say what they were saying, but I look up and I'm like, this wave is getting higher and higher and high. Like, you're already halfway up, so it's like, what do you do? I mean, I guess I could have maybe turned and try. I don't know. I was a novice at boogie boarding, so I just, all right, you got to keep going to the top. Yeah. I remember almost getting to the very top because I could see over the top of it, and I just go like this. And that shit just body slammed me into the ground, into the rocks, and I just remember rolling like I had no control over my body. Like, I could not stop what was happening, and it felt like I was under the water, rolling on the sand or whatever for a good 13 minutes. It was probably only like 5 seconds, but bro, I just remember rolling. I finally it washed me up shore, and I remember I was just like, I'm looking. All our parents, I think, saw, because like some of the parents were coming out. My other cousin, maybe I shouldn't mention his name, Little Art. He that wave knocked him so bad it knocked his shorts off. He woke up. He got up out of he had no shorts on. I remember that vividly. He had no shorts on because that shit knocked his shorts off of him. And I just remember looking, and I remember like I see my mom kind of over there. I don't know if she was coming or I'm just trying. And I remember I was trying to say like help. I couldn't. I think maybe the wind was knocked out. I'm like, help. I can remember like help. And I think it was just the wind knocked out of me, but I eventually got it together. And I remember after that, I was like, bro, I am never messy with no boogie boards. I really, when I was underwater just rolling, I thought that's it. That's where I thought, I'm like, oh, this is the way I die. That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's scary, dude. Getting your wind knocked out of you underwater, and
I don't mess with the beach anymore like that, bro.
yeah, nah.
So that was my near death. Oh, well, here's the second one. What childhood injury almost brought you death? Or just, do you remember a major injury that you got as a child doing something stupid or messing around? Doesn't have to necessarily mean death, like, you know.
Yeah, no, I don't think I ever really had a crazy injury. I mean, I flew off my bike a few times. Fell out of a tree a few times. But I don't know. I'm not really accident prone, I guess. So I don't remember. I mean, one of the worst ones, I flew over my BMX bike. I was jamming down the sidewalk and I was trying to be cool and I like put my feet up on the little crossbar, I guess.
Yeah.
And my foot slipped and it went in between the tire and the little.
Oh.
Yeah, and I just boom! I went over the handlebars, and I think I landed on the sidewalk. And I think the neighbor came out, like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah." And at that time, I was kind of like, "I'm not gonna show that I'm hurt." So I was like, "Oh yeah, no, I just want to walk my bike back. I don't need to ride anymore." I was like, and I remember thinking, like, dude, like I think, I was like, I think my shoulder kind of hit the floor first, so it took like most of the impact. And I remember it was like hurting. And then at those days when I would get home, like my mom would like, I guess, notice certain things, and I was like, no, I'm good. Because if I got hurt, and she wouldn't let me go out the next day, so I was like, dude, I'm not gonna give up my summer bike rides for an injury. So yeah, but no, yeah, that one was bad.
And you know what? I had something like that too. And you're right. You never wanted to make it as bad as it was. I remember one time I had a bike. I can't even remember what it was, but same kind of shit. I flew off. Probably trying to do a jump or something stupid. And I remember I got so jacked up, I was wearing like jeans and it like ripped off half of one of the legs of my jeans. And I remember trying to go home and trying to play it off like, no. Yeah. I remember I was limping, my leg was cut under there, but I didn't want, same exact thing. Oh, she finds out, she's not going to let me go tomorrow.
Yeah. Or whatever. Like, no, that's the new style. That's how the kids are wearing. I just
walked it off to the room, but my jeans were torn. I threw them away. I was a mess.
And it's crazy, dude, because like you said, no helmet, no elbow pads, no, nothing. I mean, I remember kids used to ride bikes with no seats.
Oh,
it's like they pull up and they're just standing. It's like, what happened to your bike? Oh, they I guess they like had it chained up and they couldn't steal it, so they pulled the seat off, and it was all kinds of crazy.
Get a shoebox and tape it on or something.
An old shoe. Sit on an old shoe.
Yeah, that's dangerous. All right, for me, let's see. Oh, this was again, I don't think it was that same trip, but we were in Mexico. We used to go every summer, like me and my cousins. I don't think Davey was on this one. My other cousin, again, Little Art, we were playing. This was probably right before high school, and we were into tennis. We used to like to go to the park and play tennis. So at this hotel or whatever, they had tennis courts. So we're playing, and I remember he hit it over. It was like a fenced area, but it was like this real tall fence. Like, so it was like, oh man, we didn't have a lot of balls. So I'm like, all right, I'll go get it. And I remember climbing the fence, and I think going over was fine. I got the ball, threw it over. And then as I was coming back, I don't know what happened. I slipped, I fell, and the top of the fence, one of the little, how the fence has like little sticky parts, kind of.
Yeah.
Just went right into my stomach. Luckily, it was like the angle didn't go in. Oh, did you ever notice it's like when you show your hands up, it's backwards. Like this is on the other side. I'm trying to do this and it's on the wrong side. Anyways, so let me try to figure this out. This is weird. But anyways, so it didn't go in like this because it probably would have stabbed me in the gut. I would have bled out. Luckily, it went in like this, and so it just went in, it pierced, and then came out. You know what I mean? So it was like almost like straight up. So
I thought you were gonna say, luckily you're not an Audi.
A little treat for you and the ladies who are watching. Let me see if I saw the scar.
Is that from a C-section? What's going on?
Oh, it's gone, bro. I'm cured.
Yeah.
I'm cured. There used to be a scar right here.
I think.
It used to go, bro. It used to go all the way up like that, and it was a big old thick scar.
Yeah.
Hey, that summer 6 is coming in. Anyways,
Hey, now there's a scar right here on my eyes. I can't see that.
oh shit, you liked it. Come on. But hey, that shit was scary. I remember I was bleeding out, and it's in Mexico. They just went and got me some. Probably.
They put some.
What is that? What's
some
that shit that stings?
Some vapor rub or what?
No, that.
Oh, some iodine.
Peroxide.
Oh.
Peroxide. But hey, I was cured. I was back in the pool. EA Sports. I was back in the game.
Bleeding out of the pool. Who cares? Let the filter take care of it.
I remember when I was done with that, I was like, that could have been a lot. When I saw how spiky.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Those fence, and that was Mexico. I don't know how I didn't get something major, but I was like, if that would have stuck in me at the other angle, who knows, bro?
If it was in Mexico, I'd be more concerned with lead poisoning.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was like. I wasn't thinking that as a kid, but I was like, oh my God, I think I dodged a bullet right there. But that was one too where I was like, that could have been bad. All right. What childhood game was basically a lawsuit waiting to happen for you? And I got 2.
Well, we had a game. I shouldn't say a game. We had a couple things that we did. Maybe preteen, between like, I guess, innocent child and preteen, those like 3-4 years in between that. We used to, and my parents, they have olive trees, and they used to have, I think, 3 at that time. And I used to, my dad made me a tree house that was meant for having a childhood full of joy, but it was actually like just an invitation for a lot of bad, mischievous time.
That's what I say. A trap house turned it into.
No, yeah. So we used to. I remember I got a couple buckets and I would take them up there, and we would just pluck because it was in the olive tree, so we had access to all these olives, dude. And we just fill up those buckets, and then we would take them to the front of the house to the side. And at night, when me and like my cousin and some other family members that should remain nameless, and we would throw them, dude, at cars that were passing by. So we like dug down in the bushes, and as soon as you see them coming, we just wham, wah, wah. And then, those few times where they would stop, and it's like, they look around like, hey, who the hell's doing that? Whoever's doing that, you better watch your back.
Were they hard? Were the olives hard?
Yeah, bro. I mean, they were anywhere from ripe to like fresh off, like, because they change, when they're not ripe, they're hard.
Right. That's what I was saying.
And then when they're
it's almost like throwing little rocks.
Yeah. And when they're ripe, you're kind of throwing like a grape. You throw it hard enough, and that thing's gonna pop. And and it comes out, it was purple. They were like black olives. Yeah. So we used to do that, and then me and one of my cousins, we used to break windows by Humphrey Park. we used to use the little white part on a spark plug.
Oh, I heard about that.
And you would break it.
Automatically shatters, huh, or something.
Yeah, it was like we used to call them silencers because they would go straight through the glass. Yeah, we used to do that,
bro.
We used to take out. Well, we used to run around, and at the park, we would take out air out of the tires, like we'd leave them flat.
Hey, these aren't games. These are those are felonies, bro. Those are misdemeanors.
That's what I'm saying. Like at first, it was like, oh yeah, we used to play these games, but nah, this was like, this is time to pass, whatever.
Yeah, just get into trouble, huh? Nothing better to do.
Yeah, and at the time, like, you don't think anything of it. You're like, because I mean, realistically, I didn't know the value of $1. I didn't know how expensive it was.
Right.
To change a broken window, or to let's say you have a nice car, just wash it, and then you throw an olive at it. Now you're standing the window or the side door or something.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah. So those for sure would have been lawsuits at least.
So for me, there was 2 games I came up with, and I didn't come up with this one, so don't cancel me or blame me. But do you remember? Or maybe this was just a game up here in AV. I don't know. But this was the first time I saw it, is when I went to Catholic school, 6th grade, and these kids were playing it. So I never heard of it before. It's called Smear the Queer. You know that game?
Yeah.
So you basically get a ball. You have like a bunch of wild, crazy-ass, horny-ass little kids that are at lunchtime that probably hate their lives and want to just take everything out on the whatever. So the game is you throw the ball up in the air, and for some reason, I don't know why anybody would grab it, but you go and grab it, and then as soon as you got that ball, everybody just tries to tackle and beat the shit out of you.
Oh, yeah.
Until you drop the ball, and then the next person gets it, and the same thing. You just go try to tackle, and it wasn't even tackle. These fools were trying to beat the shit out of you, you know what I mean? But I remember, and they're like, "Oh, it's Smear the Queer," and I'm like, I didn't even know what a queer was. I was like, "Oh, dang, this is a fun game. You get to take your you know." But that was when I was already up here in the AV, and these little white kids were wild, bro. They had like fire in their eyes when they would play that game. Like, man, I don't know what their parents were doing to them at home, but they were definitely taking it out on
they were angry, dog. We used to play Pachuco. Pachuco was big on the handball court at school. Kind of the same thing where you throw the ball against the handball court, and then if you don't catch it, they beat you until you get to touch the wall or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We used to play that. We used to play a thing called Socko, which was like kind of like dodgeball, but a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more extreme, I guess. We used to play Butts Up, where I think
I love Butts Up.
Yeah. So I mean, stuff like that. Yeah, but I mean, to me, that was normal back then. Like,
yeah. That was normal.
I mean, I remember we had some campus aids, and they didn't stop us from doing those.
Oh no, nobody, dude. Kids would come in after lunch. I remember we go into the classroom. It stunk like shit because all these boys were sweaty and smelled like shit.
Yeah.
Some kids were bleeding. Some kids had scratches all over. I was like, "Dad, wait." Fools just came back in from Nam or something. Like, what's going on? But nobody said anything. It was just like, hey, go. You know, it was like Gladiator.
Yeah.
You just go do whatever.
Like,
hey, check out this game. This was a family game. So this was, and you'll know these names: me, Davey, Georgie, our favorite cousin, our favorite I love you cousin, Michael.
Yeah. The lover, not the fighter.
The lover, not the fighter. I feel like maybe even like my other cousin maybe was in there, like on my mom's side. But there was a big group of us, and so we would go into my room, and we go into the room. Everybody get into your positions. We lock the door, and then we turn the light off. And as soon as we turn the light off, you just start fighting whoever is next to you. It's just like it would always go until somebody started crying. And I remember we would play this all the time. My trash cans got broken. I had glass doors, closet doors. Those got broken. I mean, tons of shit got broken, right? And I remember one time Chris, you know, my sister, not Fuentes, my sister and my cousin Gina were like, "Oh, we wanna play with you guys." And we were like, "No, you guys don't want this." They're like, "No, we want to play. We're like, "All right." They were in there, and of course they were like, they didn't know what's going on. They were right there in the middle. Like, that was the kill zone. If you're in that middle, you're gonna get knocked up.
Like a mosh pit, dog. Like a mosh pit.
You got to find a good little a good little spot where you got a little cover. Anyways, they were right there in the middle. I just remember turn the lights off, and you just hear bah, 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 and all the next thing you hear, I don't know if it was Chris or Gina, just crying at the top of their lungs. They were like, oh, and they went outside. We got in trouble. I think the parents were like, you can't do it. We went right back in and did it again, but I remember that game was tough as crap, and I low key loved it. I don't know why, because I was me and Michael were the younger ones. Davey and Georgie were like 2-3 years older than us, so of course they're gonna have an advantage in fighting, you know. But I love that game, bro. It was fun. But that game right now, if I ever found out my kids were doing it, I go in there and whip all their ass. You're like, can't be fighting each other. But that was a game I remember as a kid, just like growing up. It was like, oh, I don't even know what we called it. We had a name for it, I remember, but I can't remember. But
you know what? I had something similar, dude. My cousin Rick, shout out Rick, and he is, I'm gonna say he's like 3 years older than me probably. And my cousin Victor, shout out Victor, he's about 11 months younger than me.
Okay.
And he's a different caliber, bro. And actually, both those fools are different calibers. They like to fight. I'm not a fighter, bro. I'm a lover and a fighter. Yeah, we'd be in there, bro, and he's like the same thing, but he would like, I don't know if he was training because he was older and he was training for fighting or what, or he just liked to fight. Like I said, my cousin Victor was like, he's not one to stand down to anybody. So, and I'm just like in the middle, like, oh, dude, and then it was kind of like, it would start off like a 1 versus 1 or whatever, and then it would end up as like 2 versus 1 because we would go after Rick because he was bigger,
Yeah.
and then I'd be on the floor playing possum, like just like dude, like I'm done, like oh whatever, right? And I don't know if, and I remember this like pretty clear, but I don't know if it pissed him off that I was on the floor playing possum. So he just, I remember, all I remember was laying down, like, and then I opened my eyes and I saw just an elbow coming down. Oh, right on my leg, dude. Just Charlie horse blown out, bro. Just, oh man, I remember I just fetal position for like 5-10 minutes, and then it's time to go home. And I remember I came out all limping. I'm like, oh. My mom didn't ask me anything.
Thanks, Mom, for bringing me to this party.
For real, thanks for. Dude, I think it was like Thanksgiving or something, bro. And I'm just like limping, like, And she didn't say like, "Hey, are you okay?" Nothing, bro. I just got in the car. I think I was sore, dude, for like 2-3 days, man. Yeah, but you know.
And see, that was during the time where like, we were all into like WWF. So dudes were trying, like I remember Davey, he was a sneaky little sucker. He would like stay at it. He knew where to go to avoid all the action. And then whenever there was a skirmish right in the middle, that fool would come like with a flying, like a Jimmy Snuka elbow, or he would try to do a leg kick off the top. He'd be on my bed and jump. Like he always did some crazy ass wild shit. But I remember we made up stuff like the brain teaser, which was basically just like a coscoron, but it was like the brain.
Yeah.
You get someone on the ground, you start doing that. I always got Davey with the fish hook. Oh, bro, I would have that fish hook in, bro. I would have 2 fingers in. I would have his cheeks stretched like 6 inches.
Whoa.
Yeah, we had all these made up weird ass things, but yeah. Anyway, okay, same kind of shit. Which
hey, but that's the like looking back, bro. Like I hated it. Looking back, I hated it, but now I'm like kind of like, dude, like those are good times, bro. Those are my cousins, and you know,
and it probably built a little character, you know.
Yeah. I learned how to be a good possum.
Yeah. Hey guys, I'm dead. That fool didn't give a shit. Still hit you with an elbow.
Yep. Like, this guy, I'm like, I'm playing dead. He's not gonna fuck with me. That was even worse.
What's something you did as a kid that would be I don't know necessarily a felony or a crime today? I'll go ahead and start on this one since you did the other ones. But for us, like I was saying, we did like dumb. This is when I was in like junior high. My parents would just go to sleep and let us just do whatever. So we would go up down the streets and just egg houses, egg cars, toilet paper. We just went through the house and find shit like hot dogs, and we'd stick them in there, exhaust pipe. Like we were just doing just dumb stuff, whatever we could do that was destructive. Christmas time, ripping down decorations for no reason. You know what I mean? For no reason. And nowadays I look at that, man, if someone did that shit to my house, bro, I'd probably go out there with a bat and, you know what I mean? Like, but back then it was like we were just young and dumb and too much time on our hand. But that was the only, I don't want to say other stuff we did as older, because like you were saying, statute of limitations. I don't want to get canceled, but in high school we did some shady stuff involving BB guns that I don't want to talk about, because I still, anytime something bad happens to me or like my property, I'm like, well, that's because I was a piece of crap.
That's karma. Karma going out of the kid. Yeah.
All the damage I caused, I'm getting it back. So I don't say anything. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, that's what I deserve. But
you know, it's funny you say that, because that's pretty much the same thing with me. Like, I mean, anywhere from breaking stuff that for no reason, decorations, flipping off signs, and looking back, dude, I don't know why I did it, dude. I don't think I was angry. I don't think I was upset.
No, same.
But yeah, and then I think that is what made me the angry old man neighbor that I am.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm very like, dude, get off my property. I'm very like, don't leave your crap.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't play. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like waving my fist, going whippersnappers, goddamn. Yeah. I think because of that, because I'm just like, dude, it's gonna happen. Like,
yeah.
Like, yeah. I mean, it's countless stuff that I shouldn't have done. Yeah.
I think when you're young, it's just part of it is peer pressure. Part of it is you think that's like everybody I knew my age was doing dumb stuff like that. So it's just like, oh, this is what we do. When we get together, we cause damage, you know? Like you don't even think about, and you don't think about, I think you mentioned earlier, like there's no real, like you don't, the consequence, like money consequence, none of that matters to a 12 to 15, 14-year-old. I hope I wasn't doing that stuff. But it doesn't matter to you. You don't have a job. You don't know that, oh, that windshield you just busted is, back then maybe $300, but still to you, it's nothing to me. Like, I don't know, da-da-da. So it's like, as a kid, you're naive. Now you're saying you're an adult. You've worked for stuff. You've paid for stuff. You appreciate it. As you're a kid, you just, you're a dumbass little kid. You don't know. That's the same thing when I see all the tagging and stuff. When I was a kid, it was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, I want to tag. And then now I see it. I'm like, what the man? Why the hell are you doing that shit on my block, bro? Like, that shit brings down the house value.
Property value. What the hell's going on?
Looks like trash. You know what I mean? But as a kid, I was like, oh, that shit's dope. When I'd see a nice little piece, like, oh, that's sick, or some type of writing where I'm like, I wish I could do that, block writing or something. And now I'm like, any little dumbass little thing, I'm just like, what the are you guys doing, man? Don't do this shit to our name. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's just maturity, I think. You start to realize, so maybe we shouldn't be so hard on ourselves. You know what I mean? Like, every kid, I think, was doing dumb stuff like that.
I mean, I think the key is that, young and dumb. Young, dumb. I mean, I didn't, like, you think about breaking somebody's window, right? Like, that's funny, blah, blah.
Right. Funny. Yeah, funny.
If you break somebody's window and homeboy's like, dude, I don't have the money to cover this. Like, that sucks, bro. That's unnecessary stress. And now I'm like, now I'm like thinking about that. Like, come on.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. And like the whole the tagging thing, I got into tagging for a bit. And like I said, there's so many things, dude, when I was a teenager that I'm like, man, why did I do all that? I got into like,
plus you're trying to find yourself. I remember everybody to the same age went through,
and then peer pressure.
You got to go and steal, or we went to we were like older cousins to Disneyland. They're like stealing out of the gift shops, and I'm just like, I remember I was a dumb kid, like, what, all scared, like,
crazy.
What? And they're already teenagers, and I remember just like, that's crazy. They're already, but I think those are just the stages every kid kind of goes through. You're trying to find yourself, and no kid has kind of at that age. Well, I shouldn't say no kid. I'm sure there are some, but most don't have the guts to stand up and like, hey, man, it's not
like that ain't cool.
How about we just let's go play Nintendo or something? Why we got to be out here, breaking people's windows? But yeah. All right. How about this one? What was your childhood version of playing Russian roulette? Was there anything you did where it was like basically every time you did it, you were taking your life into your
Russian? The only kind of Russian roulette that I think I played with was maybe my health, I guess.
Oh, that's a good one, bro. That's a good one.
I used to have this thing for whatever reason. I don't know. Maybe it was WWF inspired, but in the backyard of my parents, they have a little tool shed in the back that's connected to a little back, like, little porch or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like it goes flat and then it goes up. And what we used to do, well, actually, I started doing it, and then I got other people involved. But we would run from the end of the tool shed, and then we would jump off onto the grass.
Okay.
And I think that the highest point is probably like maybe 10 or 12 feet.
Oh, that's pretty high.
We're jumping onto the grass.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, now I don't know if maybe that's why my back's always hurt, like, since I was younger. And I mean, risk breaking a leg, breaking your arm, bad landing, you know what I mean? Like, at the time, I thought it was cool. I didn't feel anything.
Right.
But now I'm like, dude, now maybe I'm paying for it because my back hurts a lot. My legs, my knees, everything's good, but my back. Yeah. So I'm thinking maybe I would have been a foot taller, dude, or something.
Hey, you never know. And honestly, for me, you're right. That's kind of the same. Like, I remember doing like all the whole thing about hopping fences and walls and, doing all that stuff, where it's like, now I'm like, dude, that shit, I could have slipped. I could have, you know what I mean? Like, now I'm like, why? And what for? A lot of it was stupid. You could have just walked around, but it'd be cool. Let's jump the brick wall. And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
We could just walk around, but nobody wants to do that. But you know what mine was? Is we were talking about like WWE, or back then it was WWF, but I used to love it so much. So my main move I used to love was the DDT, which is you just put their head right here and then just fall back.
Come on, dog. You got to explain that to me.
Oh, okay. All right. So I used to do that to my sister all the time. And that one, if you do it on a bed, it doesn't, it just, your face goes into the, but it's harmless, right? But
yeah, you can ask Laura. I just gave her one the other day.
Oh, did you? I'm not talking about it sexual wise. I'm talking about.
No, me neither, dog. I was like, hey, come here. And I just dropped her.
Oh, I thought she pissed you off or something. And you're like, hey. But the other one I was good at, I used to do on my sister is the figure 4. And when I locked that shit, bro, she would be like,
that thing hurts.
Almost crying. She'd be like, ah, and I would like,
that thing hurts, bro.
Take it. But the one that I did that kind of was playing Russian roulette because I could have killed her is I did a pile driver. And you have to know what you're doing. The good thing is I did it on the bed, right?
Yeah.
But I did a legit, her legs all the way up, and her head was in between my knees. And I straight dropped.
Yeah.
Boom, right. For 2 days, this little girl was laying on the couch with my mom, crying that her neck was broken, in that much pain. And you know what? Honestly, I didn't even get into that much trouble if you think about it. My mom was just pissed or whatever. But I remember feeling like, what if I would have done that on like a regular floor? Or what if her head was a little bit lower and I actually, like I could have broke her neck and killed her or paralyzed her, or you know what I mean? And like that to me is playing Russian roulette because 1 little inch lower and I land right on her head. Luckily, I think it was like right even with my knee. So my knees took most of but it's like still stuff like that. It's like, bro, that's crazy. I could have killed her. You know what I mean?
Hey, man, if you'd have done that on the regular floor, you'd probably be getting out like right now, bro, out of jail.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, for sure. If it hurt her on the bed, I can't even imagine on the floor.
Yeah.
Hey, shout out Christine, your sister, dog.
Yeah, she got a tough neck, bro. She got a real neck.
Oh, man.
And I can't even, if I ever saw my kids doing that to each other, I would beat the shit out of them.
No, you wouldn't.
No, not like the DDT or anything, but if I saw one of them try to do a pile driver, because there are some
like, tag me in.
Let me get it in. Okay, any injuries? Well, actually, I think we already talked. You just said you didn't have any. I have one. Any injuries? I have a couple injuries you suffered as a kid, and you are still dealing with the scars today.
Nah, not at all. Well, I guess the back thing where I told you where I think that's probably why my back hurt, because I was stupid and trying to freaking jump off a freaking porch for some reason onto the grass.
What else are you gonna do as a kid? You don't know any better.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember. Nobody ever went outside and told me not to do it. So,
so it's all right.
Yeah.
So for me, it was that one. I told you, I showed you the scar, but you thought it was my C-section. That was actually my tummy tuck. My tummy tuck scar. No, but I swear I used to have a scar like this long and probably that thick. It was a good scar, bro, right on my stomach. I used to like it, actually. So that one,
it was in prison or what?
It was just like when I took it off, some of the chicks were like, "Hey," I think I told them I got stabbed. I was like, "Oh yeah, I was in Mexico." I was in Mexico on a drug run and some batitos.
I used to be a rolling 60s crip. Yeah, they came on our turf. I had
it happens. But can you see this?
Yeah.
Small. So that my cousin Debo, who's actually he's gonna come on the show next week. He has his own podcast. Shout out to my cousin Debo. It's called Do It Like Danny. You should whoever's watching this should check it out. It's my cousin. He's a good show.
Nice,
funny comedy. So his dad was like a prankster, a jokester, always like messing around. So anyways, I think it was at my house. It was in Silmar. We were walking. I was walking in. I don't know why I was outside in the front by myself, but I was walking up to the door to go in, and he was hiding behind one of the pillars. And as soon as I got to the door, he jumped out. It scared me. I stumbled back like this and then tripped and fell and went right onto a sprinkler. Split my head open right there, and I was bleeding or whatever. And that one, I had to get stitches, and that one never went away. And then I think I have a scar. Maybe it's right there, but that wasn't an injury. I had a cyst as a kid, and they had to take it out. I thought I was gonna die. I remember it went in. My parents tricked me and were like, "Oh, we're just gonna go get it checked out." We go in there, and the doctor starts prepping me for surgery. I'm like, "Wait, wait, I thought you guys were going to check it out." They're like laying me down. You're a kid. You have no saying. They put a gown on me. They lay me down. They put this paper over my head. I'm like, wait, what is going on? They're like, it's okay, it's okay. Next thing I know, they give me like some shots or whatever, and they fucking slice me open and cut out this little ball. I hope that wasn't cancer. I don't know what it was. I don't know why I had a ball. I think it was on this side. But that was in, I don't know, like 10th grade or something. I still have a scar from that. But other than that, clean.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I have a scar right here on my arm where I got stabbed with a pencil.
In a fight?
But no, that was me being stupid. I had a pencil in my pocket and I jumped off like a...
Oh, you stabbed yourself?
Like a fence or whatever, and I guess I came down, and all I felt was like, oh crap. And then I brought my arm up and I had like a pencil sticking out.
Hey, you could have had lead poisoning, bro.
Yeah, and I pulled it out and I told my mom. She's like, oh, you're good. And I was like, what? And I mean, you can still see it. Yeah, go write me a story about.
Go write me a letter with that pencil.
Yeah. I was like, oh, all right.
Is there any moment from your past that makes the adult you want to go back and slap yourself?
Pretty much every moment that I just talked about, dude. Like, especially like all the property damage, all the vandalism, all the stuff that like it's one thing if I do it to myself, like that's just me being an idiot.
Right.
But
right.
Come on, dude. Like, why do I gotta go right on a stop sign? Why do I gotta go, break some windows? Why do I gotta throw olives at cars? Like, I don't know. That's
all of it, huh?
All of that. I'd line myself up
and for me, it's the same. Like, I remember a lot of stuff in high school was just stupid. Partying, going to parties that we knew we were supposed to be, drinking stuff you weren't supposed to be, taking stuff you weren't supposed to take, and just the nights going sideways, all that stuff. But one thing I remember in particular, where I'm like, for some reason in high school we got the idea. Maybe it was our junior year or senior year. It was spring break, and we got the idea, let's go drive to Vegas. We were going to go to Palm Springs, because back then that was the main spot. But we were just kids. We didn't have no rooms. We had nothing. We were just going to drive down. At the last minute, we're like, let's just go to Vegas. And said, yeah, let's go to Vegas. We drove to Vegas. We probably had like $100 between all of us. And we had spent most of our money. We bought like 24 packs of, it was like natural ice, like the cheapest.
Hell yeah.
The cheapest stuff. And
party beer.
I don't even know if we had luggage, bro. All I remember was that those damn cases of beer. And we drove up there, and it was just like a show. Like, we went and stayed in, it was like a Motel 6. I remember I went to go, this is how young I was. I went to go call my mom. Hey, we made it. And it was on a payphone. And I was on the payphone right here, and I look right next to me, and there's this like prostitute. And I've never seen a prostitute at this, and she's in like a thong. It's like a black chick. She looked all right. She was in a thong. I think she was talking to her pimp, because she's like this. She was like pissed about something. I don't know if the guy bailed on her or didn't have money. I don't know, whatever it was, but she was pissed off, yelling at her pimp. And I'm talking to my mom. I was talking to my mom while this lady's yelling at her pimp. And I'm talking to mom like, oh, we got here. It was like a Motel 6. I remember there was 2 beds and there was like 8 of us. I think I slept in like the bathtub or something. There was nowhere to sleep. It was either floor, if you were lucky to get a bed. I think someone slept on the desk. It was crazy. And then I remember looking, and the door had like the door closes and there's like maybe a little bit of a gap. I don't know what was this other place. The door and the gap between the floor was like this big. Like a dog could have walked in. And it was just and all night it was just nonstop like traffic. I assume hookers, or it must have been a cheap ass, probably like $40, and we all chipped in. But I remember that trip, we almost got into a fight. We got kicked out of a couple. We weren't even 21. Like, what are we? We were at Circus, you know what I mean? Like, trying to pick up on chicks. But I just remember it was a shitty trip. I can't believe to this day that my parents let me drive. And you know what's crazy is I drove. They let me take my dad's truck at the time, because he had a camper. So we had like 3 dudes in the back camper just partying and drinking on the way up. I don't even know if that's legal. But I remember this is at the time before like GPS and all that. We just had a map. And it was my first time driving to Vegas. And I remember we got off. We were like somewhere, one of those weird ass little desert areas, like halfway where you're in the middle of nowhere. And I remember we got off, because I thought it was like I think we were gonna get gas or something. And it was like, oh fuck, this is the wrong exit. There's nothing up here. Like, what the hell are we gonna do? How are we gonna find the freeway again? If we had GPS, you just like, oh, it'll tell you go up 3 streets. And we being stupid kids, not knowing, went back to the freeway where we got off, and then had the smart idea of, let's just go backwards up the freeway ramp to get back on the freeway and then go back on. And we did it, and we did that. And to this day, I'm like, bro, there was probably another on-ramp like a mile up the road.
Yeah.
Dumbass kids, you don't know any better, was driving up an off-ramp backwards to get back on the freeway to go. So anyways, that was one of my trips where I would just be like, what are you, like, there's no way that trip should have ended successfully with all us home. Like, somebody should have been killed or shot or arrested or something, but that's one of my moments where I was like, that was stupid. And there was some other times where I was like 18, 19, and we decided to drive to TJ for the night and just got into some, like, TJ cops they pulled us over one time, bro. They said, oh, your tags are expired, which was true. They were expired by like a month. But then we're like, wait a minute, you all don't even have tags in Mexico. How are we getting pulled? They're like, if you want to, you got two options. We take you back to the station, and then you got to go into jail and see the judge, or you give us $100 right now, we'll let you go. We're like, we paid them out the $100. Everybody pulled out their cash, and then literally we drive up another mile, and another cop pulls us over. And by this time, we're like, hey, bro, you guys have already taken everything we got. We have nothing left. And the guy was just like, get the hell out of here. But like that, I was probably in high school or just graduate high school. I have no business driving a TJ as a kid. You know what I mean? Like, that was stupid too. So those were kind of some of the moments where I was like, man, I would have never let my kid do that now. Maybe not. I don't know. Not that young. Not that young, bro. I drove to Vegas when I was 17 or 16. Like, no, that's stupid. But like we were saying, bro, some of these moments are the things that, these are the things that shape us. And these are things that kind of tell us, like, right? Don't you as a parent now, like, you know what to look out for? Like, hey, I don't want my kid doing any of that dumbass. I don't care if they're a nerd or not. Like, you ain't doing that stuff. You know what I mean? Like, be a nerd. I want my kids all to just be the biggest nerds and have a great, successful life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
no nonsense, bro.
No nonsense. I'll let you take the last word on that.
I don't know. I don't have anything to say. I'm just grateful. I'm grateful that these happened. I'm grateful that I survived it.
Yeah.
I'm grateful that I can sit here and tell you these stories and reminisce, and I can laugh now. Like, this is hilarious to me. But
we're in the clear now.
Yeah. But at the time, like I said, it was all I knew.
Yeah.
So I didn't know any better. I didn't know, like, that's wrong or that's. I mean, I kind of knew it was wrong. I knew it was not the correct thing to do.
Right.
But hey, man, I was out on the street and I was entertaining myself. And do I regret it? I regret doing it. I don't regret living it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And that's true. That's a good way.
But like I said, I'm grateful that I can sit here and tell you these stories and be like, yeah, man, this is what it was and this is what I did. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't do it again with what I know now. But
I hope not.
Let's go throw some houses at the cars.
Let's go TP some houses.
Yeah.
All right. So we survived bike crashes with no helmets. Nowadays, I would be afraid to get on a bike without a helmet.
Yeah.
Bad ideas, like my Vegas trip in high school. Zero, and honestly, this one, I mean, zero adult supervision. I don't remember any adults around when I was doing any of this dumb stuff. But somehow we lived, like how you said, we lived to tell the story. So if you're still here listening and you got a crazy ass story, I don't know, drinking hose water, jumping fences and walls, basically making dumb decision after dumb decision, comment, let us know. Let's see who's done the dumbest stuff. Because I think there is a couple more I've done that is even stupider, but I just can't remember. But maybe you guys have a story, so let us know. Hey, and us doing all that, I think now we're basically invincible. You know what I mean? We're like, hey, if that didn't get us, nothing's gonna get us at this point. You know what I mean? So
except my back pain.
Yeah. Hey, just throw some Bengay on that, bro.
Yeah. Just gotta crack it every 2 hours.
Yeah, there you go. So share your stories below if you can relate. Thanks for listening to our childhood near-death experiences. Stay dumb, stay alive, and we'll catch you next time on The Gentleman's Hour. Yeah, I like that sign-off, bro.